Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're heading out to the Nevada desert, to a place that's been at the heart of so many conspiracy theories, Area 51.
And what's so fascinating about Area 51 is it really shows how our hunger for the unknown can basically transform a real place. I mean, it's a place with a real history into this hotbed of speculation.
Right. Okay, so before we get into UFOs and government experiments,
Yeah.
let's lay some groundwork. You've given us a ton of great source material for this deep dive.
It's important to remember that Area 51, it's not just something out of science fiction. This is a real place. It's an active U.S. Air Force facility. And its beginnings are really intertwined with all the secrecy and paranoia of the Cold War.
Yeah, the 1950s, the US and the Soviet Union are facing off, and then suddenly people start seeing these strange objects flying incredibly high up.
And those UFOs, well, they weren't alien spaceships. Turns out it was the U-2 spy plane, a seriously revolutionary aircraft. They were testing it secretly at Area 51. Just imagine the rumors that must have started flying around.
Right. People were on edge, the Cold War was. It was a tense time. And then to see this futuristic aircraft just soaring across the sky, I mean, you'd think aliens, right?
Exactly. The U-2 was unique, how it flew, plus everyone was so paranoid about the Cold War. It was the perfect recipe for UFO theories. And the government, well, they kept it all under wraps for years, which just made things more intense.
It really leaned into the mystery, huh? So we've got a secret base, a futuristic aircraft, and a public that wants answers. It's no wonder Area 51 became the go-to spot for conspiracy theories.
And even the name Area 51, it just sounds mysterious, doesn't it? Like something thought up for a movie.
Yeah.
But it's actually from old Atomic Energy Commission maps. So right away, there's that link to secrecy.
It's true what they say, right? Truth is stranger than fiction. It's amazing how a name can capture the imagination like that.
Absolutely. But it wasn't just the U-2 that gave Area 51 its mystique. They tested other aircraft there, too, like the SR-71 Blackbird.
The Blackbird. Now, that was a seriously cool aircraft. I read somewhere that it could actually outrun missiles. Imagine seeing that thing in the sky and knowing nothing about it. You'd think aliens for sure, right? Talk about warping perceptions. It feels like it's time to talk about the biggest UFO conspiracy theory, Roswell.
Roswell, even though it happened in 1947, years before Area 51 was even a thing, that whole flying disc crash really colored how people saw the base.
It's the ultimate what if. A mysterious crash, the military shows up. And then all these conflicting stories come out. It makes you wonder what really happened.
Exactly. And then the government, well, first they're confused. And then they try to say it was just a weather balloon. It just made everyone more suspicious, like they were hiding something.
Yeah.
And people are still fascinated by it.
It's funny how Roswell, this one event, became so connected to Area 51 in everyone's minds.
Sort of a pattern, right? Area 51 and secrecy. It's almost too easy to connect the dots.
Yeah.
Even if it leads to aliens.
And all the other strange sightings near Area 51, like Sergeant Wayne Anderson back in 1959. He said he saw this bright green thing coming down from the sky really fast. Turns out it was probably a U-2. But at the time, it must have seemed crazy.
Oh, for sure. Those stories, people really believed what they saw. And then the rumors start. It all just adds to the Area 51 legend. And then there's Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar, talking about reverse engineering alien tech at this place called S4, right next to Area 51 UFO people. Love that story.
His claims were something else, to say the least. Anti-gravity, element 115. I mean, it wasn't even real back then. A lot of people disputed his story, and there's no real proof. But it played right into that fascination with the unknown and the whole government hiding things thing.
Which is interesting, right? Because as many people as Area 51 draws in because of aliens, there are probably way more who are just curious about what really happens there.
Absolutely. Even if we forget about the aliens, for decades, that base has been at the forefront of new tech for aircraft and the military. It's not just what we know about, like the U-2, the Blackbird, the F-117. It's what we don't know.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? What kind of groundbreaking stuff could they be working on at Area 51?
It's tough to say for sure. But knowing how military research works, we could be talking hypersonic aircraft, advanced drones, super sophisticated surveillance, all with the potential to change warfare as we know it.
It really makes you think, what's going on right now at that base, hidden away in the desert? Speaking of, what about those rumors of the Aurora project, the one that supposedly makes those weird donut-shaped contrails?
The Aurora project,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example of how even the craziest theories can pop up around Area 51. No real evidence, of course. But the idea of this top-secret hypersonic spy plane, it just captures the imagination.
I know, right? Makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, some of these rumors about advanced tech being hidden away are more true than we realize. Like Area 51 could be hiding innovations that would change the world.
It's an interesting thought. And it's that mix of real tech that we know about with the mystery of the unknown
Yeah.
that keeps Area 51 so present in our minds.
It's more than a base now. It's an icon. And speaking of icons, we can't forget how big Area 51 is in pop culture. Movies, TV shows, even comic books. Everyone's got their own take on the mysteries of Area 51. It really is everywhere. Area 51 has become the symbol for anything we don't understand, right? You've got Independence Day, where they're fighting off aliens at Area 51, and The X-Files, which just played with that whole government conspiracy thing so well. Even Scooby-Doo got in on it. They had that episode where the gang's uncovering secrets at Area 51.
And remember that whole Storm Area 51 thing back in 2019? Started as a joke online, right? Millions saying they'd rush the base, Naruto run and all, to see them aliens, and then thousands actually showed up.
That's the internet for you. Turning skepticism into, well, a road trip, I guess. Even if it was mostly for laughs, Storm Area 51 shows how one place can get everyone thinking about the unknown, wanting to find the truth, or at least a good story. But even without the aliens, the things we know happen at Area 51 are pretty wild.
You're right. It's easy to get caught up in the what-ifs. But at the end of the day, Area 51 reminds us that governments, they keep secrets, especially when it comes to national security or new tech. And yeah, that can be frustrating. But there's a reason for it, protecting information, staying ahead of the game.
It's a good point. It's easy to go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. But there are real-world consequences to what goes on at places like Area 51.
Definitely. And it's not just about military tech either. That research at Area 51 could change things for aerospace, communications, even how we understand physics itself.
It's like a ripple effect, right? Something groundbreaking happens at Area 51, and then suddenly we're seeing the benefits in all these different parts of life.
Exactly. Even with all the mystery and speculation, we can't forget that Area 51 it represents this really human thing, this drive to explore, to create, to see what's possible.
It reminds us there's always something new to learn, to uncover about the world, about ourselves. So, as we finish up our deep dive into Area 51, I've got one last question for you to think about. What if you were designing a top-secret research facility, a place to really dig into the unknown? What would it be like?
Where would you build it? What mysteries would you try to solve? Would it be hidden away in the desert like Area 51? Or would you go somewhere completely different?
Would you explore space, the bottom of the ocean, maybe even the mysteries of our own minds? It's a question that gets you thinking and reminds us that the desire to explore, to discover, it's still a part of who we are.
So, never stop asking questions. Keep searching for those answers. And hold on to that sense of wonder. Who knows what incredible things are still out there waiting for us to find them?
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into Area 51. We hope you enjoyed the journey. Until next time, keep exploring.